Sanjay, you made an important point, and let me ask you a very heart-to-heart question on this.
Sure.
When you say that why should Rahul Gandhi be projected for everything? Why not Shashi Tharoor? And also this point which you raised that why was he not projected for the debate on the Constitution? That was something which we had discussed on various platforms that day. That Congress did not put out good speakers like Manish Tiwari, like Dr. Tharoor, and we did mention about this point. But the thing is that. Given the charisma, given the eloquence with which Dr. Tharoor speaks, the charm he has of swaying the people, are those qualities which make everyone else, and I'm not just naming Rahul Gandhi, but everyone else in Congress a little wary, or if I may use the word insecure, because of this trait?
Well, this is exactly what I said. The insecurity leads to myopia, and myopia leads to self-destructiveness. Here is an asset who can beat anybody in the BJP hands down. Your job as a political party is to win elections against the BJP. Now, I can give you an example. I read a message somewhere. How many people, the Congress party should make him the star of star campaigners. And not just for urban, give him an opportunity to go to different places.
But then the feeling would be, I'm just being a Rahul Gandhi for a little while you speak. So I'm just imagining what probably he would think. Now, if you make him the star of the star campaigners, then what happens to Rahul Gandhi? Does he look stymied? Does he look dwarfed when you compare him with Dr. Tharoor? I'm sure these ideas would be in the back of the mind of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, of Rahul, of Priyanka. I'm sure the party would be mulling over these factors.
Okay, I'm not Rahul Gandhi, so I can't speak for what Rahul is thinking. But I'll tell you, if I was in Rahul Gandhi's boots, you know what I would do, Neelu? And I'm being very forthright here with you. Shashi, right, is brilliant. I would make sure that whether it's Shashi, Dipender Hooda, or I would never let a Milind Devra go, for example. I would never let a Jyoti go. And they're all brilliant people. I would actually empower them to go hammer and tongs and get the Congress back in government at the center. And you know something, the joy of a leader is in creating leaders. And the beauty of leadership is to know when to step back, because imagine today, if the Congress was in government, would Rahul prefer right now to be head of the Congress party with 99 or 100 seats in Lok Sabha, with him being, let's say, the most powerful commanding force in the Congress? Or would it be better if the Congress was in government with 250 seats and you had everyone running a good ministry and the BJP was in opposition? We had a country that was liberal, secular, tolerant, the media was free, nobody was scared, the stand-ups were brilliant, and Rahul Gandhi was still a critical player. Need not be the prime minister, need not even be the Congress president, but your party is at the helm of affairs. Now, you will tell me, Sanjay, aren't you being utopian, or aren't you being Gandhian because people have ambitions? But I can tell you something, if you're ambitious, you have to have mettle and merit behind you. And if you have that with you, the people will recognize it. Like there are certain strengths of Rahul that others don't have. I'll give you an example. Now, how many leaders, forget in Congress, I would say in BJP or anywhere in the world, have Rahul Gandhi's stamina and resilience, who's done a Bharat Jodo Yatra twice? I mean, that man is extraordinary. Rahul has been a friend of mine. I joined the Congress because of him, to be very honest with you.
Absolutely.
I have my best for him in my heart. I'm feeling bad about one thing, Neelu. The entire political brand of Rahul saw a real resurrection after Bharat Jodo Yatra. One of the reasons why the India Alliance did well, and the Congress in particular did well. I'm suddenly finding that after a few state reverses, the Congress is going back into its shell. It seems to be withdrawing again. It worries me. You remember when Congress did not do well in the 2019 elections, Rahul resigned, and the party paralyzed itself over who's going to be the next Congress president. And you paid a price for it.
You were saying that the party is again descending into a similar kind of an inertia which was seen in the earlier days.
I'm worried. To be very frank, I'm worried because you saw a bump in June 2024. Now, for God's sake, learn to consolidate that gain. You can't afford to say that now, yes, in Delhi, you were terrible to get zero. You should have won Haryana. You should have won Maharashtra. Anyway, that's history. Now forget it. Politics is about living in the moment. You have a government in Jharkhand. Uh, should have done better in JNK, but at least as an India Alliance partner in JNK. If you look at it logically, since June 2024, Neelu, the NDA has won three and the India Alliance has won two. But when you look at the perception, it appears as if it's 5-0. And the reason behind the perception is the Congress not looking aggressive enough. I'll give you an example, and I'm talking to you because I believe in it. I'm not just trying to give you a spin. Narendra Modi is a prime minister. Every time the BJP wins, he goes and gives a speech that very night to his karyakartas, and he says, "We are the greatest, and the Congress is responsible for everything." A standard, boring template, but his followers love him, and everybody's euphoric. And naturally, the big media carries it, and it becomes a headline. Ideally, I would like a Rahul Gandhi to speak on that very day, not just because you won, even if you lost. Address your karyakartas and do it at the same time. If you have to do it earlier, later, I'm saying address your karyakartas and tell them, man, we fought.
No,
We
Sanjay,
can do better. Let's do it. You see,
that's a
you
good
got to
advice.
connect with people.
No, Sanjay, this advice, which is given by you, that he should speak on the same day, whether it's a victory or a loss. Now, is the problem with the advisors of the Rahul Gandhi, or is it many people say that when it comes to Dr. Tharoor, and since we are talking about him, the problem is not so much of Rahul Gandhi, but the problem is that of the General Secretary organization, that is KC Venugopal. And since he also comes from Kerala, so his hesitation or his reticence, is understandable, and for reasons X, Y, or Z.
I'll be very honest. I don't know Casey very well at all. Okay, so I'm not going to comment on him. I haven't worked with him. I've heard of him, but I have no personal engagement with him, even after my problems with the Congress. So I will hesitate from making a statement on Casey. But here is the point where I don't agree with you, Neelu. You see, a lot of people are blaming the coterie or the cabal around Rahul Gandhi or any other leader within the Congress.
No, I'm
Now,
not blaming. I'm just raising a question because this is being discussed in the political
I agree.
corridor of power. Yeah.
I agree. And it's a very valid question, by the way. I'm not denying that. My issue is, Neelu, that a leader chooses the people around them. Blaming the coterie is actually unfair on the coterie because the coterie are going to play their own stakes game. Now, if somebody is close to Rahul, they are more interested in protecting their own fiefdom. The power game, right, is not just ending with Rahul. It will also be with the people around him. There are many political entrepreneurs and people who rub shoulders with Rahul and throw their weight around at the others. It's a normal human instinct. But I believe the buck stops with the leader. Now tell me, shouldn't Rahul, or I'm sure Priyanka and Mrs. Gandhi, they're aware of this, right? They're aware that a lot of people are talking, not just on your show, but on TV shows. Many leaders of the Congress have left saying that we could not access Rahul Gandhi. So they are aware that maybe your so-called gatekeepers are your problem. They may not be, but I blame the leader more than the gatekeeper. Now, personally, I would say, Rahul, what are you doing? If the impression is around that your gatekeepers are filtering people and not letting some voices reach to you, you should question your gatekeepers more often, or maybe change them from time to time, or listen to your gatekeepers, because I'm sure all leaders have some people they trust more, or they're more comfortable with, or they have some confidence. That is all right, as long as they're not chamchas, as long as they're not people who are so empowered that the others are disempowered. That is the problem. I think the problem in the Congress is that some people have so much of proximity and access that they don't care for the party enough. They're cutting the leader out from the mainstream. And the leader, probably out of sheer faith, or in my opinion, bad judgment.
I'm just wondering that why is this shake-up so difficult in Congress when the central leadership or the top leadership knows that there are certain people in their coterie teams who are restricting the access of the others, and people do complain that you cannot meet Rahul Gandhi, you cannot meet Priyanka, or it's very difficult to meet Sonia Gandhi. There are several of them who whom we know, and they say that, it's very difficult to meet them. And if the party's central leadership is aware of these problems, then why is this shake-up so difficult? Why cannot Rahul Gandhi simply tell the people that, look, boss, I don't need you, my party is suffering, and I need to do a major overhaul?
Yeah. That's exactly what I wrote. Leadership is about having difficult conversations. I'm a big believer, Neelu, that if you lose elections back to back, you got to make way for fresh blood. Simple. Politics, you are not going to get a runner-up trophy, right? There is no Congress is runner-up and, let's give the Congress a silver trophy. You're out, you're out. So I think the Congress needs to be a lot more disciplined when it comes to performance.
No, but
if you don't have a hunger to win.
No, Sanjay, the long and short of this is that Congress very well knows who are the competent people, who are efficient, who are skillful in what they have to. But despite knowing, and Shashi's case is a textbook example of that. Everybody knows his caliber. You don't have to go through Wikipedia or Google to understand what Tharoor is capable of. But even then, if the party is so hesitant, then which means that there are certain things which are done deliberately within the Congress. Is that not the moot point?
I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's just a little laid back approach. I'll give you one example. The part where I was
the next question is why that laid back attitude? Why? Because of whom? As far as I know, as far as I know, Mr. Kharge, he's very agile and he's open to the idea of working till 2 or 3 in the night. Even Rahul is very, very laborious. Priyanka is equally laborious. Then the problem is where?
I think the clear absence of priorities, right? You need to be very clear. There is no sense in lecturing people on empowering India, caste reservation, helping the Dalits, protecting the minorities, fighting for India's constitution if you're not going to win elections. I'm telling you, the bottom line is the Congress is to realize that life is about winning in a hard democratic contest. It is not a level playing field with Mr. Modi in power. We all know that. The BJP has the resources. The BJP has the big media. The BJP has the institutions. The BJP influences the election commission. We all know that. But if you are not going to be ruthless and disciplined in terms of getting your act together, you're never going to win. In which case, you're going to wither away. I'm telling you, Neelu, the reason why I am concerned is that the leadership has to inspire. One of the biggest roles of a leader is inspire your people for change. How do you inspire? You need to talk to them. You can't say that I'm only going to, address a few people in select gatherings. You need to go to universities. If I had to write the job description of the Congress president, I would say go and address at least 2 universities a month. Do 2 press conferences from the AICC office. Travel to the states where there are no elections. Create a new organization by empowering people. Tell me, why hasn't the Congress party announced a shadow cabinet? Look, if the leader of the opposition is considered to be a shadow prime minister, shouldn't you have a shadow cabinet?
Absolutely.
Things. You see, the Congress's biggest problem, we're writing an article on it for a paper, so let me share it with you before that. Congress needs to be the big idea party. What is the Congress party doing? I think I'm getting a call from a channel I need to go to, so I'll wrap up.
Yeah. No, I'll just ask you 2 more questions, Sanjay. One is that Shashi did stir a hornet's nest when he said that, if the party is ready to give me a role, it's fine. Otherwise, I have more options. Now, options of writing books, attending events, giving speeches. But that also led to the speculation that he might quit Congress and join BJP. Now, could that be a possibility? And I'm told that this Friday, that is day after tomorrow, Kerala Congress is holding a meeting, especially in the wake of what Shashi Tharoor has said. So what could be the possibility? Do you think that there is any possibility of Dr. Tharoor joining BJP?
No way. I'm very confident that Shashi is not going anywhere. The Congress will troubleshoot and figure out a way to ensure that Shashi is not feeling miffed with anybody talking to him in a manner that probably got him upset. and the Congress needs Shashi. Shashi obviously can spend his whole life traveling the world and giving his fantastic talks and writing the most incredible books. And honestly, I actually I don't know whether I told him yet, but I feel had he remained a UK citizen, he would have been probably a British Prime Minister. If Rishi Sunak could do it, Shashi could have done that. I don't think we clearly value this man enough. And I think the Congress should get back to the basics, keep your people together, and fight hard. You can defeat the BJP, it's no big deal. But for
Right.
God's sake, stop squabbling within. That's it.
My last question, and I'll let you go. I know you're in a hurry. That let me play the devil's advocate. What if no call is taken on Dr. Shashi Tharoor? I mean, that would be the most unfortunate thing. But then, what next?
Well, I think the worst case scenario is that you ignore him and you're basically then giving him a message that we can do without you, Sashi. And the Congress will then be basically saying, listen, you've got 4 years as a member of parliament. Somebody in the party must be saying he won't waste it. He will still hang around. Sashi is not like that. He's a very self-respecting guy, extremely modest and down to earth given the credentials he has. And I just feel that will be a tragedy. You should never humiliate a man who probably has been very down to earth and simple. And I always believe that simple people are the people that you need to respect. When they don't shout from the rooftops, their work speaks for themselves.
True. Wonderful interview, Sanjay, and always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.